Hey guys, so today I'm going to rank the 4 zombies maps in Cold War. So I'm treating Outbreak as a zombies map, and obviously we have Die Maschine that came out first, then Firebase, then we had Outbreak, then we had MAUER Toten. And I know Outbreak's technically a game mode. I'm just going to treat it as a zombie map just for this, for the sake of the video. And so as someone who's played about 24 days of zombies, and I played a lot of all of these maps, seeing that MAUER Toten's been out for 9 days and I played pretty much every day, I think I have a valid opinion on this, and I'll be ranking this based on the Easter eggs, high rounds, and just the general fun of the maps and kind of the uniqueness and the aesthetic kind of vibe of it. So obviously this is my opinion, so if you don't agree, sorry. But I think most of you guys actually will. I think about 90% of you probably will agree with me on this one. So number 4 is going to be actually Outbreak, sadly to say. And it's not because it's bad, because I actually really like Outbreak. It's just because there was a phase in Outbreak that made it unplayable, really. So I don't know if you guys remember, but when they buffed the zombies' health ×4, Outbreak past about round 7 was really, really hard. And honestly, Outbreak in general, once you get past around 7, it's kind of like, I don't know why I'm playing this anymore. At least the high rounds are really fun in my opinion, because with the high rounds, round 1 takes the same amount of length as round 100. So all up, it takes about 10 hours to get to round 100, 9 hours if you're really quick. So that was a lot of fun back when it was actually possible, except for when they buffed the zombies' health. So when they buffed the zombies' health, made it absolutely horrible. But before that, I actually really liked it. It was a lot of fun. I just feel like when they add updates to Outbreak, I feel like it doesn't really add anything to it. The Easter eggs is different, obviously. I found the Easter eggs a lot of fun, but I would still rate all the other Easter eggs and all the other maps better than the Outbreak ones. I didn't mind it, but I just don't really like the whole big world Easter egg, especially when you're like Easter egg hunting and you gotta find like a little teddy bear in the corner on this ginormous map. But I think the Easter eggs were good. I just think when you add new regions and objectives, for me personally, it just didn't add anything to the actual game mode or the map, sorry. When they added a new objective, I just didn't care for it. I couldn't care less, honestly. And when they added like the new region zoo, I was like, oh, cool. Like they're just like multiplayer regions. Like I really couldn't care less. So I'm gonna move on to number 3. Like I said though, I do like Outbreak for the most part. It's had its phases where it was horrible, and then also when they add stuff, I don't really care for it. And the Easter eggs, 4 out of 4 for me. On to the third map I'm gonna say is Firebase Z. Now, Firebase Z is actually a lot of fun as well. Really, it is. I mean, it's probably on equal with Outbreak in terms of the Easter egg. I like the Easter egg on Firebase Z, but there's certain steps on it I don't really like, such as like the mimic step, and it's just a little bit more tedious than the other Easter eggs in my opinion. I'm not the biggest Easter egg fan, so don't take that too much. But I think the high rounds are actually a lot of fun in Firebase Z. I think the Ray K is really cool. It is a little bit boring though, in the fact that it's kind of a weapon that you use for the zombies to come to you. So it's a bit of a slow kind of wonder weapon. You gotta, especially for the high rounds, you have to wait for the zombies to actually get to you, and then you kind of just slow them down and then just slowly explode them. I just feel like, and this is a thing that makes it number 3 for me and not higher than it could be, is that the aesthetic of the map, I just don't really like the whole vibe of it. It just doesn't feel it doesn't feel good to me. I don't know how to explain that. Like when I play Nuketown Zombies in Black Ops 2 or Town on Black Ops 2, there's a certain vibe that comes with it. But this map, I just wasn't feeling it as much. I still think it's not that bad, the vibe, but that's just my opinion. It's a bit weird, I know. And then also it does have the best strategy for Dark Ether, which is awesome. Also, it is a bit tedious to turn on the power, in my opinion. I don't really like turning on the power on Firebase Z. So let's move on to the second map. So the second map is going to actually be Die Maschine. And so obviously we all know what number 1 is, but Die Maschine is number 2 for me. And I have played so much of Die Maschine. I probably played, 11 days out of my 23 on Die Maschine. Because 1, it came out first and was out for like 2 months. But it's great for camo grinding. It's great vibe, in my opinion. It's got a great high round strategies. You got one that's like super fast and kind of difficult, and then you have one that's super easy and still really fast. And I just really like how you turn on power, how you get set up. The wonder weapons are cool and fun. They could be a little bit stronger in my opinion, and that would make the map better. and maybe boost it up to number 1, to be honest. But yeah, Die Maschine, you can't really go wrong playing it, to be honest. I just like how bright it is as well, and the snow. The Megatons are cool. I mean, the player counts can be a little bit annoying, but I just think overall it's a great map. Also, one thing I did forget about Firebase Z, the mimics pissed me off, man. The mimics pissed me off. That's another reason why it's number 3. They were so annoying, especially at the start of the game. So sorry to go back to that. But now we're going to move on to number 1. So Die Maschine, awesome. I really loved it. Great map. Number 1, in my opinion, is actually the new map, MAUER Toten. Now, with the new map, some people complain that it's too easy. I've seen some like bigger Twitch streamers not even streaming the game because I think they think it's just too easy and they don't really care for that. But in my opinion, I think it's really good for like the lower skilled players to at least try and get to round 100. And I think it's just makes it more fun, man. Like, who wants to play a zombies map where you have to absolutely sweat your ass off to get insanely good and then to get like the super high rounds and then it take 10 years to get to high rounds? For me, I like it when the high rounds are, are somewhat difficult, but they don't take that long, obviously, because I do challenges and stuff. But high rounds, they shouldn't be boring, With MAUER Toten, you've got all these disciples that spawn in, you've got the manglers, you've got the panzers, you've got all this crazy stuff going on, but it's not obnoxious. With Firebase Z, I found it so like when the mimics and then the dogs would spawn in, and then the manglers, and then the dogs would explode and knock all the zombies around you, and then the mangler would shoot. It was just really annoying at times. But I find with MAUER Toten, because of how good the wonder weapon is and how the bosses don't really disrupt the map as much, in my opinion, I think it just works really well. It's chaotic and fun and fast and somewhat easy. I mean, most people can get to round 100. So some people do argue it's probably too easy, and I can definitely see that side. But for me, I actually really enjoy that. Because, I mean, if I play 5 on Black Ops 1, I'm going to be like, oh, this is a sick map. Like, it's really cool, but like I'm not really going to play it that much because it's just too hard, I know some people are really good at that map and there's cool strategies, but it's just, in my opinion, if a map's easier, it makes it so there's so much more stuff to do, really, and you can kind of mix it up. I just think the Easter egg, for me, is by far my favorite. By far my favorite Easter egg on Cold War Zombies. I can do it 100 times and I wouldn't get sick of it. A lot of fun for me. The actual ending of the Easter egg was sick as well. And then the challenges on this map are really fun. The first room is by far the funnest challenge I've done in zombies in a long time. And just the general vibe of the map is also really awesome. The disciples, it's got a unique kind of feeling with the rappels and then the zip lining. And yeah, I just have an absolute blast on that map, honestly. And I've played 9 days. I think out of 9 days it's been out, and I can't honestly get enough of it. I really want to go for a world record attempt as well. And hopefully, because Insomnia Virus crashed on like round 700 and something, I don't think I'm going to get that high. It takes about a week to get that high, but hopefully, maybe, you never know. You never know, I might go for it. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I think most of you guys would agree with me with this list. So yeah, that's my opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed, and catch you guys tomorrow.